Hey art friends, and welcome back to Mrs. DeVita's Art Room. It's been a while. Today we are going to draw a dog portrait. This is an advanced drawing. Some of you have asked about how to do the drawing of a dog after seeing some of the dog paintings. So I figured what we would do is I'd teach you how to draw a dog starting with simple shapes. So let's go ahead and get started. What you're gonna need, just any picture of a dog. You can use your own dog's picture. You can have someone send you a picture of a dog, or you could do, if you find a nice, adorable picture off the internet, that is perfectly fine. So, and it could be, again, any kind of dog. I'm gonna do a portrait of a pit bull today. And I found a really cute one I like. This is in a horizontal format. So what I'm starting with, I'm gonna put my little picture of my dog up here. Now I have my paper laid out the same way. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna look, and if you look, his head is kind of tilted. So I'm gonna kind of look at the tilt of the head here, make kind of a tilted axis of the head. So I'm just making a basic line here just to start off with. What I usually do when I start, I look at the shape of, say, the top of the head or the ears. And if you notice, he's got this little part of his head that kind of goes in. So I'm making kind of this wiggly line shape. What you want to do is you always want to start light and then kind of build up on there. So you can see that. And if I were to look at his ears, they're sort of a triangular shape and they have this little overlap here. So I'm going to kind of get that little ear part on. So I've got this wiggly line to start off with. And then I've got this overlapping ear, sort of a triangle. And I've got that little fold in there, okay? And I know it's super hard to see right now, so I'm gonna hold that up a little bit. So you've got this wiggly line, and you've got this little triangle shape, and then an overlap. All right, and you can pause the video at any time if you need to go back and see how that is. This other ear kind of comes up on the top of the head. I'll make sure I have enough room for it. And again, you're looking at these wiggly, sketchy lines right here. All right, so and this is always how I start the paintings. I always start the paintings with a pencil sketch right onto the canvas, which is how I started this little guy right here. I started him with a pencil sketch, and then I kind of went in with a paint after that. So now I have my ear folds. All right, and again, this is an advanced drawing, so don't feel, if you feel intimidated by it, please do not. All right, and then we're looking at the shape of the head. If you notice, pit bulls are known for having sort of boxy heads, which means a bit of a rectangular or squarish shape. So I'm looking at his little head right here, and it kind of comes in, and it comes back out. Now, he's got a cute little head tilt going on, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna look. Now, what I can do, if I look, this little line right here, where his little jowls go in, is about where his nose is, and I can always adjust for that. But what I usually do is when I start at the top of the nose, I wanna make sure that I have enough room between my eyes and my nose of my dog. And if you can see that, that's gonna be about where my nose is right here. And dogs have, especially when you take a photograph of them, this is sort of going to be kind of an oval shape. My nose is going to be sort of an oval shape, all right, friends? And then I have this little part, and then I have this little lip where it comes down, okay? I'm kind of coming in here, all right? See if you can see that. So I've got his nose. Take the time to freeze the video if you would like to, okay? And then what I'm gonna do, got my little part right here, and I put my little dog up here, and I've got his nostrils. If you look at the nostrils, they are sort of circular, but they kind of curl up, kind of like a bit of a question mark or something like that sort. And I've got these a little bit out of alignment, so again, I can come back in and I can erase. So it doesn't have to be perfect. This is why I'm drawing in this really sketchy manner. If you can see this, if you need to stop, if you need to Stop for just a minute. Do you see how I've got my nose and my nostrils? Okay. All right. And then I've got his little bottom lip under here. Okay. He's got a really saggy little jawline and mouth here, and that's what makes him so cute. It gives him a lot of character. And then if I look at his eyes, what I'm going to do, when I do the eyes, I want to make sure I have enough space. So what I'm going to have to do is bring my little, I'm going to look at the shape of here. I'm going to kind of change this so it's a little bit more saggy. And I can come up here, and I'm going to get this other little part of the head and the jaw, and bring that around. And I've got a lot more folds and wrinkles in the ears, which I can go back in and kind of get, and I've got this little side of his body. So I've got his head kind of turned just like in my picture here, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna look for where his eyes are. Now I wanna make sure I have them spaced far enough apart. Now what I can do is I can come in and I start with the circular part of the eye, and he's got, it doesn't necessarily have super round eyes, so I want to make sure I have them spaced out enough. It's not very far from the side of the head. So I've got one eye in. Look at my eye. Okay. And again, you can pause it if you need to get that eye in there. You can take a minute and pause the video. All right. And coming back in here. And again, I've got that circular part of the eye. I want to make sure there's enough room between my eye and the side of the head, like on my actual photograph that I'm working from. Again, every dog is different, so you're looking at whatever picture you may have of the particular dog that you're drawing. But I've got that little corner of the eye, and I've got these little eyelids. If I look, he's got these little round pupils. So I want to get that in there. Okay, so I got his little eyes in there. And again, it might not look exactly like the picture I am drawing from. And then what you want to look for, once you've kind of got it drawn in, we're going to look and see about where his rest of his body underneath would be. So I've got that little line of the body there. Okay. And then I can come back in and I can look and I can start doing things like my details. I can start doing some shading in, saying like his nostrils, etc. If I was doing a painting, what I would do is I would come back in and I would bring my paint onto this and start actually painting in with my tints and shades of my colors. But since I'm using a pencil this time, I'm gonna look at what I'm gonna be shading in. Now, I wanna look for things like values. Now, it's a very sketchy drawing right now, but what I would do is I could come in and I could either use hatching and cross hatching, I could use my finger to blend, I could use a napkin or something to blend, and I could come back in, I could start onto details. If you look, he's got this white patch on his chest, so I could get his collar in there if I wanted to, and just various details to make it look more like whatever particular dog I'm drawing, all right? So if we look, we're gonna look at how he's shaded. He's got a very light colored nose, so I'm not gonna put a whole lot of shading onto the nose. And he's got this little part where his little whiskers would be. You notice dogs have those details like that, and a little bit of shading around here. So that pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, I could come back in and get all my values and just kind of start bringing it out. And there you have it, friends. You have how to draw a dog. And then, of course, like I said, you can go back in and you could water paint it. You could, if you were painting on a canvas, you could do acrylic paint. And thinking about this different, if you want to have that texture, pit bulls, again, are relatively smooth. Oh, one thing I missed, if you look at his forehead, I've got these little wrinkles up on the forehead. All right. And I have actually painted, I don't have any of the paintings with me today because they've been sent off to people, but I do have some pit bulls that I have painted, and they're actually one of my favorite dogs to paint because I like the character and I like kind of that boxiness of the head and that strength in each dog's face. So they're quite beautiful dogs. And so each dog has its own little character that you can bring to your drawing or your painting. So, all right, friends, there you have it. We have our little pit bull friend, and again, you can go back in and shade it however you want. Thanks for drawing with us today. Have a wonderful day. Bye.